Hello, my name is Jeff and I'm back here with another hand-built all-tube custom guitar amp from De Minimis Amps. This one is a 12-watt push-pull amp with EL84 output tubes. It's got an all-tube reverb circuit with both a dwell and a reverb mix control, and it also has a stealth attenuator. Pull out the gain knob and drop the output from about 12 watts down to around 1. So you can really crank it up and get some good overdriven sounds at pretty reasonable volumes. The cabinet is handmade from a piece of African mahogany, and it's got a 12-inch Celestion speaker. As usual, I'll play a little bit for you, and then we can nerd out on what's going on the inside. So I started working on this amp quite a while ago, and it's gone through a lot of revisions to get to where we are now. When I first put it together, I envisioned it with a standard treble middle bass tone stack, but it just didn't sound that good. The EL84s are really kind of bright, and with the scooped sound, it just, I didn't like it. It really only sounded good to me when I had the mids all the way cranked up. So I decided to yank that out and just put in a regular tone stack, and it sounded a lot better to me. But it did leave me with 2 extra holes in the front of the chassis. So I filled one of them up with what is labeled B on the controls. What it actually is a Vox-style treble cut knob, which dials down some of the highs going into the output tubes. With one hole open left to fill, I decided to add a dwell control to the reverb. It's not something I've ever done before. Usually with my reverb circuit, if I need to decrease the amount of signal going into the reverb driver tube, I'll just put a fixed voltage divider in there. But I thought I'll try it out and see what happens. And to be honest, the difference is pretty subtle, whether the dwell is down and the reverb mix is up, or turn the dwell up and turn the reverb mix down. You can hear a little bit of difference in the reverb. I don't know, it's a pretty subtle change, but it is kind of nice to be able to tweak it a little bit. Here's what the reverb sounds like when it's cranked up a little bit, and then also when it's cranked all the way up. The attenuator is just the standard L-pad attenuator that I put into most of my amps. It's just 2 resistors soaking up a little bit of the output that's going to the speaker. This kind of attenuator certainly can reduce the highs that you hear coming out of the speaker. Since this is a pretty bright amp normally, with the attenuator on, I usually just roll the bass knob, which again is a treble cut knob, all the way off, so it's really out of the circuit. And then there's still plenty of highs. So again, I hand-built this cabinet from a piece of African mahogany. The front panel is some thin plywood type material, and I just played around with the design until I found something that I kind of liked. This one's a little more traditional guitar amp style with the controls near the top instead of at the bottom, and I even put a handle on this one so you can carry it around. But as with most of my amps, they're really made to be in the house, in the living room, in a studio, your bedroom. They're made to look kind of cool and maybe not be so intrusive that your partner, significant other won't mind it being there. If If you like these kind of amps, you should follow me over on Instagram and here on YouTube. I'm always making new stuff, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.